Okay, so today I went to TJ Maxx and I found this Profusion palette, and I have a different Profusion palette. I have the Sienna's palette and then I have the Mattes palette, and I really like them both. I think the shimmers are a little tough to work with sometimes, but they're not anything horrible. But I had seen this one on Instagram and I specifically wanted it for these 4 shades right here because I thought they were something that I would never have used before. And there's somebody I follow on Instagram. I will tag her Instagram down below, and she did like a really pretty pink look with the ColourPop shadows, and she posted it on Instagram last night. So when I saw this today, I was like, I'm definitely gonna try that look inspired by that. Obviously it won't be the same, but this palette was $6.99. I did finger swatch some of these. I'm a little skeptical about them because they didn't finger swatch very nicely, but like I said, it was only $6.99, so for $6.99 the palette itself, even if these few shades just work for me, and like honestly when I swatched that pink shade it was awesome. So what I am going to do is I'm just gonna go in, I want to lay down like a matte warm shade just so that I know where I'm going with it. Like my whole lid is going to be pink. Sienna's palette from the Profusion, and I'm just going to take this really light warm shade Oasis right here. I'm just going to pop that really messily into my crease, just so I know where I'm going with the shadow, and then I'm going to just do the pink all over. And I always do this just to kind of map out a crease. I will always do this even if I'm doing like a really dramatic look. I just like to map out exactly where my crease is. This doesn't have to be blended anything crazy because like I said, I am going to go in with that pink all over the lid anyway. For this pink, it's going to be a little bit blown out, so I will like kind of take it out here, and I'm just taking my warm shadow just to kind of show me where I'm going to go. I'll probably go right to here and then stop. This is really dependent on your eye shape. You can kind of do whatever you feel is necessary for your eye shape. Like I said, I have smaller eyes, so I'm a little bit more particular about how I blow out my eyeshadow. So this is the base that we're going to start with. Now we're going to jump into that pink palette. I am going to jump into this palette. It's called the Pro Pigment. I didn't say that already. I am going to take this pink shade right here, Jive, and I'm going to put this messily in my crease and kind of just blow this out. I have never worked with a pink shade like this all over my lid, so this is going to be like a learning experience for me. But I just tapped off the excess, and I am just going to deposit this now into my crease first. So off the bat, like that's crazy pigmented if you guys can't tell. I might go in with like a clean brush just to blend it out depending on how it blends, because this did deposit like a significant amount of pigment, and this is called the Pro Pigment palette. So I have to say, one thing I don't love about the Profusion shadows, the shimmer ones, is that it's very hard to work with them. Like I feel like as soon as you put them on, you kind of just have to leave them. You can't mess with the other shadows around them because they blend away really fast. So I don't love that. I'm going to take a makeup remover wipe. I don't like how high up right here I went. So I'm just going to clean that up. And then I will take my concealer brush that I just had, this concealer that I set my face with, set my eye with, and I'm just going to clean up here a little bit, and then I will go back in with this pink and blend out. Yeah, so that's really pretty and extremely pigmented, I would say. So as you can see, I did put the shadow on this other eye here. I think that they're blending out beautifully. I'm losing a little bit of pigment blending them, obviously, but nothing crazy. I am going to just, this is like a super simple look, so it's literally going to be just this color. I'm going to take a clean brush, and I'm just going to blend the outside parts to kind of feather them a little bit, because I do feel like it is a little bit intense on the outsides here, and I just want to blend all the harsh edges. Obviously I will go in and clean up like the sides and everything like that. Take the flat part of this brush and just take a little bit more of that shade Jive and just tap it onto my lid, because I want it very intense on my lid. I even wonder like what this shadow would look like wet or like with a concealer base, because like look how intense that is. Very minimal fallout on my face. In the actual palette there is a decent amount of fallout, but this is crazy pigmented, so I'm not really complaining. Like that's crazy to me. This literally is going on beautifully. These are dry, this isn't wet. There's no concealer base obviously, because at this point I have put shadow over that concealer, and this is how it's going on, like intense pink. Like that's crazy. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a shimmer shade. I'm not sure because, so if we look at this palette, you could see that these are like more of the mattes. There's this beautiful shimmer shade. I think it's called Nebula. This would be pretty with this. But I don't see anything that's like a crazy hot pink pop. But what I think I'm going to do is go in with this shade right here, Pop. And I'm going to put that on the center of my lid. I am going to apply it wet though, only because I really already kind of know what these Profusion shadows are like, and I know I'm gonna need more of a base. I'm just cleaning off my brush on my color switch. It's not an actual color switch, I got it from Wish, but it's like based off of the color switch by Veramona, which I totally suggest you guys try if you haven't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Fix Plus, which is obviously in this Urban Decay bottle, and I'm going to take a little bit of the shade Pop. I'm going to wet that right off the bat, and I'm just going to try to place this on my eyes. I guess the real test is going to be like, the real test is going to be if this messes with this pink underneath. Okay, so it's going on really pretty. And you definitely have to pack this on. I wouldn't suggest swiping it. I would suggest literally tapping it. This is unreal. And it's so funny because I'm just spraying a little bit more. I definitely would not have done a look like this before, but when I saw her do it on her Instagram, like she posted it on Instagram, and I was like, that is unreal. So then today when I went to TJ Maxx and I saw that they had like a palette similar to the ColourPop one, I was like all over it, because when I saw the ColourPop one go up, I think they started selling it on that Wednesday, October, whatever it is, from Mean Girls. I don't know what, I can't remember right now, but they started selling it then, and I was like, I need that, but I didn't get paid, so I was like, I can't get it. But yeah, so when I saw this pink, I was like all over it. So I'm not going to go all the way out. I'm going to stop it right in the center, like here. I'm going to add a little bit more shimmer, and I'm going to spray the Fix Plus one more time. Like I said, these shimmers are tough. Like you have to just, once you apply them, leave them. Like you can't blend anything else because it really does affect like the intensity of the shimmer. They don't blend well with other things. Like you kind of just have to leave it. So I am going to just feather this side of the shimmer into the matte, and I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to finish this eye off camera, and then I will come back and I will have lashes on and we will try a face product. So this is the shadow look cleaned up, and I put lashes on. I have on the Chignon lashes from Kiss. I think that's how you say them. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into my face, and I want to show you guys this product. I bought this at TJ Maxx today as well. It was $6.99, and these are the custom cover drops from Cover FX. I had used these a long time ago when they first came out, and I did not like them. But I wanted to retry them. I was actually going to buy them from Sephora because this week they are on like the weekly wow, so they're $22, and then I have 20% off for my Rouge weekend. But when I saw these at TJ Maxx, I decided to buy it there because it's significantly cheaper regardless. The only problem is I didn't find, I'm usually in Cover FX a G30, G40. So unfortunately the only G shade that they had, and G stands for a golden undertone, was G20, and that was a fair to light skin tone when I looked it up, so I knew that was not going to match. So I decided to get the shade N35, which was neutral, and 35, the description was it was light to medium skin, so I figured if anything the neutral base would be good. I'm going to try this a different way, I think, than normal. So when I buy this, like I know a lot of people will use it to thicken foundation or to make it more full coverage. I don't love a full coverage foundation. I've said that a billion times. So what I'm going to do for this video, if I completely hate it, I will wipe it off and we will try something else, because this product is definitely like a, you have to try it kind of product different ways. So I'm going to mix it with a moisturizer. I'm going to mix it with the Ordinary moisturizer, and this is like a thicker moisturizer. So I figured this would be like an okay one. I'm going to use a brush to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the drops and shake them, and I'm just going to deposit 2 or 3, probably 3 drops of this into my hands if it would deposit. I remember not liking the applicator of this bottle. Yeah, nothing like comes out. What the heck? Like I'm squeezing it and nothing is coming out of the actual squeeze tube. Let's try this again. Yeah, no. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and just, I guess, rub it on my hands, and we're going to mix it that way. That's kind of a pain because now I don't necessarily know how much I'm dripping out. Like, honestly, that kind of stinks. So the bottle definitely is not cool. So I'm gonna mix it and we're gonna see. I'm gonna need more, I think, than just this, but maybe not, we'll see. So I'm just mixing it on my hand like so. This looks like an okay color match, to be honest. I don't really know where I'm at right now because I stopped tanning. I need to tan more. Like, I didn't actually stop like forever. I just haven't really had time. I'm gonna take a little bit more and just swipe it on my actual face to mix in with the moisturizer. I don't like this applicator. I still have a significant amount on my hand, so this will definitely last you a while. I'm gonna leave it on my hand and see kind of how far we get. I'm gonna take my Morphe foundation brush and I'm gonna blend this out with a brush and we'll see how it works. So it seems to be blending out okay. The only thing I dislike about neutral foundations, and the reason I never ever buy neutral foundations, is I feel like they give me, I have a warm undertone. I feel like I look a little bit ashy when I wear them. It's nothing horrible. Like, I can definitely fix this with bronzer. So that is why I chose this one, because I thought that the golden shade would just be way white. But it definitely gives me like an ash, if you could see. Like, it definitely ashes out my skin because I am a warm undertone for sure. And like right now I'm not even that tan, so I have foundation all over my lips. I probably could have gone one shade. They had this is N35. They had a 45 and a 50. I definitely thought the 50 was gonna be way too dark. And the thing is, I bought this with the purpose of mixing it in with some of my foundations that I own that are too dark sometimes. Like, if I'm not tanning, they are significantly darker, some of my foundations, and I can't wear them, so I figured I bought this to mix in. But today, for the purpose of the video, I wanted to show it to you guys like this. So I know I'm gonna look crazy, and when I make Instagram like little fast video that I make, people are probably gonna be like, bitch, you're white. Like, that is white. So it definitely is a little lighter. I wonder if it will oxidize. But it blended out really nicely with that moisturizer. I'm going to take a beauty blender and just kind of blend out the excess. I'm going to take whatever's left on this beauty blender and add it to my cheek area because I want a little bit more coverage there. But I think it did a really good job. And the color is not horrible. It definitely is lighter than my skin tone, but I'm going to fix it with concealer and stuff. Born This Way Super Coverage Concealer. I'm just going to put this under my eyes and in my T-zone. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cream contour like normal. Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contour Stick, like usual. And all these products so far have blended really beautifully over this like kind of foundation concoction. So I'm surprised about that because I don't remember why I hated it when I bought it last. Maybe I was using it, I remember I mixed it with a moisturizer and maybe I was just mixing it with the wrong consistency of a moisturizer. I don't remember, it was very long ago. I think like 3 years ago at this point when it first came out. So yeah. I am going to now set my under eye with my Huda Beauty powders. My powder has been sitting. I'm just going to take my Wet n Wild brush and brush the bake away. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bronzer. I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Contour Kit. And this is in Dulce de Leche. I'm going to take a Wet n Wild brush. I'm just going to put that bronze shade all over my face. Well, all over my bronze areas. I am going to take my Huda Beauty Bronze Sands palette and I'm going to take like a fluffy bronzer brush and I'm just going to warm up my face a little bit more with this bronze shimmer shade. And this will just add some like glow to my face because with this look I just feel like I want to be like really glowy and like bam in your face because the eyeshadow is totally bam in your face. Go in with the Morphe blush kit in 8W. I'm going to take the shade right here, Goals, and I'm just going to apply this lightly to my cheeks. I don't want my blush to be super intense. I don't want my blush to be super intense because my eyes are pretty like intense as is. That Pro pigment palette, and I'm going to take the shade Jive again. I'm going to put that right under my eyes and just kind of smoke it out on the under eye area. So what I am going to do is I'm just going to go off camera and do my mascara under my eye. I will come back, do my highlight, and I will give you my final thoughts. Do a highlight. I'm going to mix two different highlights. I'm going to take the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Powder in Blossom Glow, and then my Color Icon Baked Blush in Hummingbird Hype. And I've used this one mostly as a highlighter because I think it's too light to use as a blush and too shimmery as well. I'm just going to mix them right on the brush. Love Wet n Wild highlighters, guys. They're so cheap and they look beautiful on the skin. Like, this is literally wet looking. Right now I have some acne going on, so we're gonna ignore that, but as far as the highlights go, they're beautiful. Also, I'm going to highlight right here and then in my inner corner. I'm just gonna use the Blossom Glow for that. And I'm just going to take it. I dropped this one, so there isn't really fallout with this highlighter, but it's just because like I dropped it that there is some fallout. And I'm just going to place this right in the corner. And it's not going to do anything crazy, but I just really do like that inner corner highlight. Like I've said, no matter what, I usually do it. And I'm just going to do it under here. And I'm going to put some lip gloss on, just a plain lip gloss, nothing crazy, because the face and the eyes are super intense. This is the finished look. I am like super impressed with how it came out. I really, really like the Cover FX drops the second time around, and I don't know if that's because I picked like a pretty okay shade, or if because now I know a little bit more what I'm doing versus a while ago. So I love the eyeshadow palette. I think the eyeshadow palette is awesome. Granted, I only used a few shades. There are some shades that I swatched in there that didn't feel so promising. The ones that I did use were the ones that felt like really, really good when I swatched them. There's a really pretty, like, let me pull it out. There's this really pretty gold shade right here, but it swatches kind of funny. Like, I'm going to show you. It swatches like, oh, that's my middle finger, but when I wipe it, it's just like kind of patchy. It doesn't swatch perfectly, but finger swatches are not always like a telltale sign of how something is going to be. But yeah, so as far as this look goes, I'm really impressed with it. In total, I think I spent $14 at TJ Maxx, so it's definitely worth it. TJ Maxx always has different stuff, so I can't guarantee that you or TJ Maxx will have the same stuff, but that Pro Pigment palette from Profusion you could find at Target as well. My Target was just sold out of it at the time, but thank you guys for watching. I will try to link these two products down below, but if I can't find the, well, I should be able to find the Profusion palette on their website as well, so you could also buy it there, I believe, but I will try my best to link those two products down below. As for everything else, I'm not going to link it because it's normal stuff that I use, but if you do have any specific questions, I'm totally down to answer them. My lip gloss is the Too Faced Sweet Peach based lip injection gloss in Babylor and in Papa Don't Peach. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did like this look, please don't forget to like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to me. So see you guys later.